Hello, everyone. Oh, excuse me. Happy Easter if you celebrate it. I hope you're having a good one. Be it spending your time with family, friends, yourself, all the above. And also, happy Trans Visibility Day to my trans comrades out there. This is the first officially recognized, or rather, Dark Brandon is the first president to officially recognize a day of trans visibility, which is a big step. We want to be careful not to confuse symbolic gestures with systemic change. So you can't just declare a day Trans Visibility Day, then go home. You have to keep fighting the fight in other ways. But I will give Joe Biden credit for this. And because visibility is important, education is important, and I think more and more people will become accepting the more our experience and our identities are put out there. Having said all that, the conservatives are in a tailspin. They're losing their mind because, I'll let them explain it for themselves.
Now to this, critics say Biden and the woke mob are taking a swipe at Christians this Easter. This year, Easter Sunday falls on Transgender Visibility Day, which is traditionally on March 31st. But this year, not only did Fairfax County, Virginia, make an official proclamation for Easter Sunday, so did President Biden. Biden was the first president ever to issue an official proclamation for Transgender Day of Visibility, and this was back in 2021. And in his proclamation this year, he said, quote, "Today we send a message to all transgender Americans. You are loved, you are heard, you are understood, you belong, you are America, and my entire administration and I have your back." The Fairfax County Board making a similar proclamation this week.
I'm just very happy that we're recognizing a community that has too often been pushed into the shadows and celebrating yet another community within our diverse tapestry here in Fairfax County.
Okay, so this day actually goes back to 2010. And when President Biden first made this proclamation back in 2021, that year Easter was on April 4th. Except this year, they both happen on the same day, Lisa. But it's also a random day created by a random person out of Michigan in the same way that I could declare March 30th as the day of Lisa. The White House also banned religious-themed designs from the White House Easter egg art contest, when the whole point of Easter is to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ as a religious holiday, a religious celebration. To celebrate the day of trans visibility in and of itself is an affront to Christianity, because the Bible says that God made man and he made woman. He made male and female. To say otherwise is to deny the truth, is to deny God's creation. Also, to do it on Easter is blasphemous. You can even go back to the last Trans Day of Visibility in 2023. He celebrated after Christian individuals were murdered by a trans person at the Covenant School in Nashville. And then the White House proceeded to go on and say that it was the trans community under attack, not Christianity. So I am so sorry that I believe that Joe Biden understands the optics of it, and he is doing this intentionally, and he is thumbing his nose at Christians and Easter, and he's essentially spitting in the face of Christians everywhere. Well, we also have, there's a Virginia mom who told Fox News Digital, Stephanie Lundquist, that, quote, "They are intentionally trying to offend Christians on the holiest of days by forcing gender ideology down their throats. This is reprehensible and unbecoming of our elected representatives," stated.
Isn't Joe Biden Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. I'm with Lisa. This is not a thing. It was made up. It's like Kwanzaa. It was made up by somebody to do something. Who are they appealing to? There are roughly 1.6 million or so people in the U.S., according to some reports, that identify as transgender. Where are they going? But here's what they've done. They're gaslighting the American people because of the coincidence of this made-up day versus an actual day that means something to billions of people worldwide, not just here in the United States. They want us talking about them. And this whole thing with the Easter egg hunt, now I've been to a few of those. It's a lot of fun. You eat a lot of too many eggs. But part of it was people expressing themselves. So now the government, under the Biden auspice, will tell you that you can't present a religious, First Amendment, a religious imagery on an egg. I mean, again, I'm even more cynical than Lisa. This is gaslighting the topic. I'm trying to be that calm because I know you're not. No, but seriously, they're just gaslighting us into this topic. This is false, just like this quote, day of visibility. You're visible every other day of the year.
Okay, Joey, I'm gonna have to get you on the next one.
Well, there's a lot there. I'll only, mention a couple things. But, okay, first off, is anyone else kind of fed up with this term gaslighting? I mean, gaslighting is a real concept. So I'm not saying that. I feel like it's become so watered down. Like everybody is using the term now. And people are using it in instances where there is no such thing as gaslighting. They're using it in moments when people aren't gaslighting, but then they say, no, this person's actually gaslighting me, but they're not. Come on, bro. Nobody's gaslighting anybody here just because. I mean, first off, it just happens. We're in a calendar year where Easter and Trans Visibility Day are on the same day. They're not always on the same day. So that doesn't make it gaslighting. And Joe Biden's not gaslighting anybody. Your religion doesn't dictate reality. I know that's a shock to some of these people. But whatever your holy text says, and you can believe as much of it as you want. Whatever your holy text says, the world doesn't have to conform to what that text says, and it doesn't. There's many you can point to many passages in the Bible that can't be substantiated by our current understanding of the world around us. So like whatever the Bible's takes are on like gender and sexuality, that doesn't invalidate trans people. Again, these issues fundamentally are separate issues. If you want to believe in Christianity, have at it. But, and this is always the issue, foisting it on other people to the point where you're invalidating someone else's very existence because you can't handle it emotionally, because it brings out feelings in you don't know how to deal with. So this has nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. They're making it about Christianity because, the people who watch Fox News and the people who listen to conservative commentators, religiously, pun intended, are very devout. So, this is like, this rhetoric is an attempt to shoehorn themselves into a conversation that has nothing to do with them in the hopes of going some, points in the culture war. But the existence of trans people, it's not blasphemous at all. And yeah, again, it has nothing to do really whatsoever with your religious beliefs. Joe Biden's not trying to attack Christianity. Again, they said themselves on this panel, Joe Biden's Catholic. Catholics are Christians. A Christian can also support trans people. So this is just them being whiny snowflakes. This is just the outrage machine. This is just the conservatives finding every little thing to get upset about, and to make a huge fuss about. And maybe one final point in regards to the fact that the White House banned religious symbols at the Easter egg art contest. I feel like that falls into like separation of church and state, right? Like this is an official holiday, right? But like the United States doesn't have an established religion. Most people in the United States might be Christians or Christian adjacent, but like the government itself doesn't declare this nation to be a Christian nation. Nowhere in our founding texts and in our law does it say that. So like I think if a White House is banning religious symbols at an Easter egg art contest, it's because they're trying, and this upsets the religious right even more, but they're trying to basically sidestep it. They're like, they don't want to touch religion, right? They don't want to touch religion. Leave religion out of this. Like, just keep this a more secular, secularized version of the holiday, or secularized celebration for this holiday, because the government is in fact secular. So, I don't personally care, I guess, if there's an Easter egg art contest. If people paint religious symbols, they should be allowed to paint all the religious symbols, like Satanism, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, whatever, whatever floats your boat. If they're going to paint religious symbols on their Easter eggs, then all religious symbols, including atheist symbols and agnostic symbols, should be allowed. But like the White House didn't do anything wrong there. Again, separation of church and state. Government is not supposed to take sides on religious matters in this country. And so they're just sidestepping the issue, as I would expect them to do. So yeah, again, this is just conservatives being the true snowflakes, conservatives finding every reason to complain about trans people they can. And now they're claiming that Trans Visibility Day is anti-Christian, and just that Trans Visibility Day inherently is an affront to God's creation. So all I can say is, if there's a hell, I hope these people are going to it.